I will call to order this regular meeting of the Stuart City Commission. Mary, would you call the roll?
Mayor Collins.
Here.
Vice Mayor Reed.
Here.
Commissioner Clark.
Here.
Commissioner Giovi.
Here.
Commissioner Rich.
Here.
And we'll have our invocation. Would you also lead us in the pledge afterward?
Thank you so much for this opportunity today to present this invocation. I would like to, if I can, first give respects to Mayor Collins, Vice Mayor Reed, and commissioners. Commissioner Clark, good to see you again. I'm going to base my prayer on just a simple idea. We know that it's been said there's power with numbers. I would probably challenge that thought and say there's power in unity. Certainly we could have many numbers, not have unity. The scriptures support this idea. In Matthew 18, it says that if two of you, there's your numbers, shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done of them. So we have our numbers, but it's important that we also have our unity. And I have been in enough of these meetings and had the privilege of doing the invocation and know there may be some in agreement and maybe some in disagreement today. But I do think that if we start this meeting out touching just one simple idea, that is that we're all here for the betterment of our city and our families and our citizens, that I believe we could accomplish a lot today. So with that idea, if you could bow your head and let us pray today. Lord Jesus, we thank you for this opportunity to come. Lord, for the betterment of our city, Lord, and our citizens, we pray that you would bless this meeting. As, Lord God, we come in agreement with that one idea, Lord. We're touching that in your name. We thank you, Lord Jesus, for this opportunity. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. If we can, I'll lead the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm going to make sure I don't get this wrong, because that would be the worst thing I could possibly do.
We'll help you out here.
All right, if we can,
I pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You want to go ahead and...
We're going to do it now. Okay. You have the letter.
I do. Want to speak to what you're doing? Yep.
Yeah, true. Hi, everyone. Commissioner Giovi here, and today we're having a change of the guard. And Roz, who's been a most spectacular interim city manager, is leaving and returning to her head of the HR department. But before she goes, we just had a little something for her because we appreciated working with her, and just wanted to say thank you from all of us.
Thank you, Roz.
Thank you. There's a little label on it with appreciation from all of us.
Thank you.
And you can look at our names until you're tired and you can take the label off and throw it away.
This is lovely. Thank you all so much.
And that's not all.
And then
Oh,
we
goodness.
have a letter, and I'll go ahead and read it on behalf of all of us. Dear Roz, this letter is presented in honor and recognition of your exceptional service and steadfast dedication to the city of Stuart. During a critical period of transition, your leadership as interim city manager has been marked by professionalism, integrity, and a clear commitment to the continued stability and progress of the organization. Your ability to guide the city with confidence, agility, and purpose has made a meaningful and lasting impact. In addition to these responsibilities, your continued excellence as Human Resources Director and your service as Interim Finance Director reflect a remarkable breadth of expertise and an unwavering dedication to public service. Balancing these roles with such effectiveness is a testament to your work ethic, for sure, adaptability, and commitment to excellence. Your contributions have not only ensured continuity in operations, but have also strengthened the foundation upon which the city will continue to grow and succeed. The positive influence of your proactive leadership during this time has not gone unnoticed and is deeply appreciated. With sincere gratitude and respect, we recognize your stellar performance and the significant difference you've made for the city of Stuart.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Signed by all of us. Good job.
Oh, I appreciate you.
Want to get a picture from Misty?
Yeah, sure. Wow.
Misty, would you get a picture?
That's what I get for getting you new chairs. Isn't it?
Oh, we all have to go. Let's go.
And that will segue us into our oath of office for our new city manager, Michael Giordino.
Testing, testing.
There you go.
Raise your right hand. I state your name, do solemnly swear
I, Michael Giardino, do solemnly swear
that I will support, honor, protect, and defend
that I will support, honor, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution and government
of the United States and the state of Florida,
of the United States and the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified to hold office
that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state of Florida
under the Constitution of the state of Florida
and under the charter of the city of Stuart,
and under the charter of the city of Stuart,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of City of Stuart City Manager,
the duties of the city of Stuart city manager,
on which I am about to enter, so help me God.
on which I am about to enter, so help me God.
Congratulations. Let's get down there and get a picture with you, too.
Thank you.
Another picture? Yes, one more.
Oh, and one more
You gotta
picture.
remember the
Okay.
That's right.
so we don't have to do it for a while. Congratulations, sir.
I get these once before I die, so I'm not ready.
Sorry. After you. After you. May I?
Get city seal.
Okay.
All right, you're all set.
Welcome aboard.
All yours.
Thank you. Wow.
What a difference a day makes.
Thank you all again so much. It was such a pleasure working with all of you.
Same here, Roz.
Thank you, Ross.
Does anybody have any comments for him?
For him? No.
Just making sure, just making sure.
Yeah, no.
Okay, moving on to presentations.
We have, yeah.
Momentous presentation. Is Darren doing that?
I'm going to be handling this presentation, Mayor. We originally were going to have Darren do it, but due to certain circumstances, thought it'd be best if I took over.
Okay.
Speaking that it has to do with a lot with the legal stuff.
Yes, sir.
So this started back in the fall of 2021, and I was not here, so I do not have personal knowledge, so I wanted to disclose that. I'm relying on both my investigation and Roz Johnson's investigation, and we had spoken to multiple people that were here at the time. I've spoken to former city manager, Mr. Dias. I've spoken to former commissioners, former police chief, and I've also reviewed a bunch of records, documents, and so forth, and also discussed such with Roz and her findings and what she found, in addition speaking with Darren, our IT director. So I wanted to disclose, obviously, the things I'm saying are not personal knowledge. I'm just giving a timeline of things that resulted from the investigation. So I'm going to start in the fall of 2021. The city lost $125,909.12, and it was over increments over a 12-day period of time. And so since this request for this presentation came up, I've been asked certain questions. I've seen questions, and such questions include, when did the city become aware of the missing money? Is the city still exposed? When was the city aware of the crime? Why did the city not tell the public? And did the city seek return of the money? So let's start with, when did the city become aware of the missing money? And is the city still exposed? So the fraud was perpetrated through the city's online bill payment software. A payment would be made to the city with unknown account numbers, and then the payment through staff would be canceled through our city staff. And the time that it would take to post the payment, it takes 10 days to clear, but when we would cancel it, it would be more instantaneous, and so we would lose money. And so somehow this scheme was found out by people out there, and they took advantage, not only of the city of Stuart, but 4 other cities across the country that were also the victim of this same crime spree. In October of 2021, multiple transactions on multiple days occurred, so for about a 12-day period of time. And like I said, it totaled a little under $126,000. But with these little transactions, multiple each day, they added up to that amount of money. When these small amount of transactions were being realized, the finance staff at the time were trying to ask other staff members of the city. They were trying to investigate to see how this money was missing. It took them about 12 days to figure it out. They eventually were talking to our third-party vendor that was the software vendor for the payment software. But apparently on the 12th or 13th day, we were able to figure out and stop the issue. However, at that point in time, they still weren't aware there was a crime. From that point on, for several months, the finance department and our third-party vendor were arguing back and forth. So what caused? How did this happen? And what finance director would email, and then maybe 7 to 10 days we'd get a response, and then vice versa. So for a few months, that went on back and forth. And then it's my impression that the budget came around in springtime, and with the finance department, they focused on the budget at that time. And this issue with the missing money was put on the back burner for a while. And then on May, let's see here, I want to make sure I got my dates, times, so forth here. So when did the city first become aware of a crime? So May 16th, 2022. So we were talking about 7 months later. A sheriff's deputy from Fayette County, Georgia, contacted the city to alert that the city might have been the victim of a fraud that he was investigating. And apparently Fayette County got hit by the same fraudulent scheme. And so they alerted us. On May 17th, the finance director notified the Stuart Police Department, who then they opened up its own investigation in collaboration with the Fayette County Sheriff's Office. Very next day, on May 18th, 2022, the city manager, David Dias, was notified. So that was the first time they were aware of a crime. And then with the investigation started, with the alert from the sheriff's deputy and also the City of Stuart Police Department, they were told not to talk about it because there was an ongoing criminal investigation. They didn't want to let the bad people that were doing this be alert that we were now investigating them. So it took until about December of 2022, so another 7 months, that I saw a report online that they finally said that they were announcing that they had arrested 60 individuals that were doing this to not only the City of Stuart, but the other 4 local governments, and that they were being indicted and they were arrested, and the criminal charges were then ongoing at that point. However, the City of Stuart Police Department didn't close its investigation until 2024. So why did the city not tell the public? So first, during that period of time that there was a criminal investigation, they were told by both the police officer in the Stuart Police Department and also the sheriff's deputy not to publicly announce this so that they can continue to investigate it. After October 12, 2021, the perpetrators of the crime were still trying to commit the crime against the city, but we had stopped it at that time. So there were multiple other times, and I think I saw somewhere where if they had continued to do it, we would have lost well over $500,000. And I think one of the other cities or counties lost well over $1 million, according to this fraud. So on the grand scheme of things, we did not get hit as bad as they did. So first off, the police told city staff not to go public on the matter. In speaking to the former staff members and commissioners, they were alerted on a private basis, but just not publicly. The finance director continued to communicate with the software vendor, basically debating who was at fault and how this happened. And then eventually the software vendor retained a lawyer who sent a cease and desist letter for the finance director to stop talking about it. And I believe that was another reason as to why they didn't go public at that time, because there was a threat of a lawsuit. And then the last question, did the city seek return of the money? So in my discussions with the folks involved, it was concluded that it was going to be very highly doubtful that any return of the money would come from the criminal restitution part. There were, like I said, there were 4 other local governments that got hit significantly larger amounts of money. And in looking at the criminals that were doing it, they were obviously going to jail. And I saw accusations that it was a lot of addicted to drug folks that probably spent the money versus they didn't have, it's not like you would, a lot of times we do forfeiture cases against drug dealers and stuff that actually invest their money in properties and vehicles. That was, apparently that was not the situation here. So then we went and looked at whether or not we could make a claim under our insurance policy. Now, prior to this date, we had made it's called cyber liability coverage. And every year we have to renew the policy or we bid it out and get a new policy with a different carrier. And apparently we had a prior claim under the cyber liability coverage, and our deductible was significantly increased as a result of that prior claim. I would be assuming that we did that because our insurance rates went up. So a lot of times, just like on your regular personal insurance, a way of reducing the premiums is increasing the deductible. So at the time that this loss happened, our deductible was $100,000. So if we made a claim for $125,000, the most we would get is $25,000. And I know I've heard questions, well, why didn't we still go forward with it? Our staff had communications with our insurance administrator with Relation Insurance, and they had recommended against it. If we had another claim, we could be potentially canceled with our policy that we had, and then we also would then have to, the next year when we're trying to seek new coverage, we would also have to disclose that now we have another claim, and this one was much higher. And they had made the decision at the time that it would cost us more in the long run if we make a claim than just to eat it and not make the claim. So those, like I said, those are the questions that I have seen, and that's the results of what I had concluded. I'm happy to try and answer any further questions that you guys might have on the situation, but I hope that was thorough enough to answer your questions.
Questions from the board?
Thanks for the presentation, Lee. My issue since bringing it up wasn't necessarily with the vendor. It was more so with how it was handled and the public not being notified and and how do we move forward so this doesn't happen again? And, you know, we can give transparency to the taxpayers in the city. I think they should know when money's stolen. That's my comment, because I don't think we're gonna get the money back.
While I understand the need for full transparency, in these cyber-type crimes, you really don't want to alert the cyber bullies out there that you might be vulnerable, even though we really weren't. I do understand that recently, because of most of this cyber-type crimes, that now a lot of it can be done in the shade, so that to protect for the future, so that those who would do harm to the city cannot. I would say that the one thing that I found in hearing the explanation was that the one thing that we need to do better is there may not have been as many questions if the notes in the file might have been better. Better designating the fact of what took place after they were notified that it was in litigation, that it was being investigated, then possible litigation. There seemed to be a part where the notes fell off. There were no notations. And I think we need as a city to do a better job of keeping notes so that when someone comes 2 or 3 years later and says, what happened here, you actually have a full detail of what happened. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
I wanted to touch base on that. So when we had ransomware, the public was absolutely notified when that happened and it occurred. I actually knew about this issue back in 2021. I have a multitude of lists inside my head that I'm going to address while I'm here for the next 2.5 years at the city. So I just think if I knew about it, some other people should have known about it. From what I understand, the city manager at the time didn't even know about it until Georgia contacted Stuart Police Department. So I think there's definitely a big disconnect between communication amongst maybe departments, and we should absolutely know about these things. From what I understand, I guess some elected officials, they weren't allowed to talk about it. Lee might be able to touch base on that. He had conversations with maybe some current ones, maybe past ones. I know you spoke with the city manager. I don't know how much you want to elaborate on it, if he knew about it before he was contacted.
No, I think it was determined that the city manager found out 2 days after the sheriff's deputy contacted the city and alerted that we might be the victim of a fraud. So that would have been about 7 months after it happened. But remember, as you call it, the finance department didn't believe that it was a criminal issue at that point. They were pointing fingers with the software vendor, and the software vendor was pointing fingers at us. So there was an ongoing dispute as to who caused it, who's at fault. And like I said, the city manager was not made aware until after the criminal, once the criminal element became apparent within 2 days, the city manager was alerted.
And in situations like this, Lee, I don't think we want to experience them, but when they do happen, does like FDLE or any state agency have to be contacted if like a city gets hacked or if anything like this happens?
Again, when this first happened, first off, there wasn't a hack, and so there was never a compromise of the city's systems, and Darren can come out and attest to that. This had to do with this third-party vendor software. Apparently, these folks learned how to do this, and there was never a compromise or a hack into our system. So if that's a different situation than what we had here. So if there's a hack or into our system, I think it's a different protocol that I don't know, because that hasn't happened since I've been here, but Darren could probably come out and give you, I assume it's happened in the past. I know it's happened at other local municipalities locally, and I see Darren walking to the podium now, and maybe he can.
So like, for example, Darren, if we are hacked, does like state agencies have to be notified? And I know this isn't a hack, it was, yeah.
Darren Duke, Technology Services Director, for the record. So sometime in 2022 or 2023, the state changed the law. So now we have finite time limits for an actual cybersecurity incident to report to the state, and to report to FDLE and report to what's called the Florida Digital Service. They didn't exist, those reporting requirements, back when this happened, and to the city attorney's point, this is not a cybersecurity issue. This is what we would term in the business a cyber-enabled crime. So it was a finance crime that was made easier because of the internet. People were still robbing banks long before the internet came along, so that wasn't just, it didn't happen because the internet came along. So we have to be very careful. I remember a meeting where myself and the finance director at the time, we sat down with the cybersecurity policy to claim, and there's 8 to 12 checkboxes on that form, and we couldn't check any because our systems themselves had never been compromised. The compromise, as the city attorney said, was some ingenious person had figured out how to, bypass the checks and balances in an actual system. Not a system we have, not a system we manage, it's a third-party vendor.
All right. Thanks.
Yep, sure.
Any other questions?
No, I said what I had to say. I just think moving forward, the public should absolutely know about it. I know the case was closed in 2024, so there was definitely time to make a notification to the public so they were aware.
Okay, moving on to comments by city commissioners. Commissioner Rich.
Okay, thank you. Well, welcome, Mr. Giardino.
Thank you, sir.
And for the benefit of the city staff and the city residents, I hope you enjoy considerable success.
Thank you, Thank you.
One of the reasons I'm dressed up is because I had the honor, along with Commissioner Giobbi, prior to this meeting, we attended a ceremony with the Charge d'Affaires from France, recognizing the contributions of a 101-year-old member of the city of Stuart at Addington. It was really quite an impressive ceremony, and I will allow Commissioner Giobbi to provide more details on that. It was the Légion d'honneur, their highest military award from the country of France. So, secondly, I would also like to acknowledge the recognition received by the City of Stuart's own Officer Kyle Azinga. This Saturday, the Palm Beach Benevolent Association had their annual meeting and recognized him as the Officer of the Year, correct? And Mr. Mayor, if it's okay with you, Chief Z is going to
Absolutely. Come on down.
describe the incident that led to his recognition.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mayor, Flamor Zanellovic, Chief of Police. Commissioner Rich asked that I address this from a historical perspective. So Officer Osinga was nominated to the Palm Beach County Police Benevolent Association for Officer of the Year, along with dozens of other officers, mainly out of Palm Beach County law enforcement agencies and from Martin County Sheriff's Office. And he was involved in a critical incident, as we term it in our business, back in March of 2025 at approximately 7 a.m. He responded to a 911 call on Monterey Road in the city of Stuart for the report of a person with a edged weapon, a knife, threatening people in his apartment community. Officer Osinga pulled up in his marked patrol car in uniform to address the complaint. He saw the individual, that was the suspect that was described as having a weapon, and asked that person from a distance, from about 15 or 20 feet, can you please go in your apartment and put your knife down? And the subject appeared to comply, went inside his apartment as Officer Osinga stood by his police car, and then the suspect, not 2 or 3 seconds later, came running out of the apartment with, it said a large knife, was more of a machete-type hatchet, a large edged weapon, and sprinted towards Officer Osinga, who in just seconds, blink of an eye, had to retreat from his patrol car so as he wasn't stabbed or hacked by this subject, and he was forced to use deadly force against this individual to stop the attack. And he did just that. He did what he was trained to do, and he did his job. Unfortunately, it results in a loss of a life, which we never want, but sometimes we just can't prevent it. But he performed admirably considering the spontaneous action of the subject, and had he not done his job and performed according to his training, he or members of the community who were a witness or victim of this knife attack may have been injured. So he was recognized by the PBA for his quick wit, his action to prevent an attack and protect himself and the community. And quite honestly, he was just a true guardian of the community that morning. It was 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning when most people are sleeping in, or having breakfast, he was out on his first call of the day and thrust into this scenario. So we are very proud of Officer Osinga. His training is very evident. It comes out in his actions, and we appreciate the opportunity to address it here at the public comment portion.
I would imagine that case, I got to see that clip, is going to be used as exactly how to handle that situation. It was so fast what he did. It was incredible.
Yes, Mayor, you're
How quickly
correct.
he responded.
Yes, from a training perspective that offers the body camera footage and the surveillance footage from the apartment building offer a clear perspective of just how fast that happened. And, you know, I'm just so glad that Officer Osinga was there and he was prepared to react that quickly. And for us, it's always difficult as police officers to walk around. You can't walk around with your hand on your gun thinking that there's something going on around every corner, because the reality is it doesn't happen that often. You just don't know when it's going to happen. So you have to be on edge at all times and be prepared to go from being, you know, Mr. Nice Guy, having an interview, talking to somebody, to being forced into a position of deadly force. And that's a difficult position for any police officer to be put in. We know it comes with the job, but it's a, you know, again, it's a very impactful incident in their career, both as an individual and as a police officer.
He's a great reflection on the department. And the
He truly is.
training.
And I appreciate you saying that. He's
Yeah.
very well-trained officer, just over 10 years with the Stuart Police Department, and he's a father. You know, he wants to go home every day just like everyone else, but he did a great job to protect our community, and he's on patrol. Right now, he's on the midnight shift as a corporal, helping to supervise the overnight shift. So when we're going home tonight, they're working till 6 a.m. to make sure that we're safe in the community. So,
Will you let him know from us? Good job.
yes, I will.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Giobi?
Okay. And just to tag on what Commissioner Rich said today, we were both over part of a celebration. Mr. Robert Checo, a Stuart resident, was honored today. It was his 101st birthday, and part of that honor, he was presented with the highest award that you can from the French government. It's the Knight in Legion of Honor. And a council representative, Monsieur Trapp, came to present it to him. And he was just an amazing man. I had a conversation with him, met with his family. He had been an infantryman in the 2nd Division and participated in D-Day and landing on the Omaha beach and fought onward to liberate Normandy. He also was he was in other dire battles, the Saint-Lô and Hill 192 in Normandy, where he was wounded. He was then sent to recuperate. Once he recuperated, he returned to his division, and he went on to be part of the infamous Battle of the Bulge, and was very much instrumental in the liberation of France during the Second World War. It was an honor for us to be there today. The city of Stuart did a proclamation to Mr. Greco, and I will tell you, he's still driving, God bless him. He had, right? Was he not? He was amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing. And everyone, the Honor Guard was there, the veterans, and there were so many people there to celebrate this event for him. And it was really an honor for us to be there also. So, and thank you for being there, Commissioner Rich. I just want to share with everyone, I didn't get to say because I was going on that. Again, the house is full. I'm so happy. It always makes me great to see that people come and participate in local government. One of the things I wanted to say was this is out on the stands throughout the city. You should pick it up. It's called The Local. It's finally a local paper or information that is not filled with sarcasm and not filled with half-truths. It is an excellent piece of information. It is not biased. It gives the story, and you should all read it. I have one for each commissioner. So it's finally so good to have something that is not always attacking people here in the city and not saying good words. This is something that tells the story as it is, and everyone forms their own opinion. And that's all I have to say.
Commissioner Clark?
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to say again, thank you and welcome to our new city manager, and we wish you all the best during your tenure here. I had the privilege of seeing our police department in action and our fire department also, they came out to do safety training and just to work with the residents at Pier Point for the annual night, like a night out for crime and neighborhood watch type thing. And it's always good to see that participation, and as was prayed about today, trying to create unity in the community. So I just want to give a big shout out to our police department, and especially the K-9 team. They work so hard and they're so dedicated to what they do. And it was great to see their demonstration and speaking to the residents at Pier Point. I have a couple of announcements that are from some events that are coming up, and I probably didn't put in the boxes of the commissioners, but I know that I think this week we're having our environmental awards coming up on the 30th. And I know that our city has projects. I think Ann Ellig is here. We have projects that have been there for nomination and that will get awards. So I just wanted to congratulate ahead of time those who've been working to make sure that we have so many innovative things that we're doing at the city and that we'll be recognized for. With regard to, before I give out my notices, the summer is coming up and children always need something to do. And we have a young man in our community. He's here tonight. He's probably going to get a chance, if he's filled out a green card, to say something to the public. But I know Mr. Ryan Carter is here. He's brought his team of young hand-to-hand students, middle school and elementary school students that are hoping to work with our city recreation department to do at least a week summer workshop reading activities with youth in our community. So he's working on that project, and I just want to recognize Mr. Carter. Put your hand up, Mr. Carter, for what he's doing with young people in the community. And on that note, on April the 30th, we're going to be having our kickoff for the Martin County Historic Preservation right here at the Stuart Feed Store, at the back of the Stuart Feed Store, around 5 p.m. And we're just asking the community to come out. And there's a lot of activities for the entire month of May, and there's a calendar for that. And I hope that we have a link on the city's website, or at least have that calendar where people can pick it up and look at it through the city. Or if you want to just put in Martin County Historic Preservation, you'll see all the activities that are going to be done. And one of those activities that will happen is that the city of Stuart will be recognizing the Stuart Training School on the 12th of May, when we'll be having a ceremony for Florida Emancipation Day, and there'll be a historic plaque dedication at 4 p.m. at Stuart Training School, 800 Bahama Avenue on that day. So that's something that's coming up. On May the 1st, there will be a reading at the gazebo for Law Day. Law Day is May the 1st. All over the nation, and we're asking adults, children, anybody who wants to come and read something that relates to developing community, unity, developing a better government system, making sure that we're being neighbors and kind and respectful to each other. Those kinds of things will be well regarded if we bring those out and we read on that day. We'll be there from 11 until 2 p.m. On May the 3rd, at my church, St. Monica's Episcopal Church, I think this is about our 10th or 11th year that we're having a Law Day ceremony at the church at 10 a.m. And Judge Jennifer Alcorta Waters, sorry, I'm thinking of Candace because I missed something. She'll be speaking at our church on that day. And going to Candace, on this past weekend, they had, as a part of Earth Day, there was a Stuart cleanup down here in the downtown, sweeping the streets. The Stuart Main Street did that program. And I just want to give kudos to Candace and her community team who planned that and executed it. And I think it was really a great thing to do for the downtown area and to just get people to be down here and to do something to help clean up. They said that they had a lot of cigarette butts and they were wondering about doing what we need to do to have more, I guess, more places for people to put cigarette butts, especially in the downtown area. So that kind of came up why there were so many cigarette butts on the ground, but maybe it's because people don't use the receptacles that are there. So that was a shocker to people to see how many cigarette butts they found. I mentioned the thing on the 12th, and then on the 16th, there's going to be a reenactment of Florida Emancipation Message that was General McCook brought to Tallahassee on May the 20th of, actually May the 19th/20th of 1865. And this is going to be May the 16th at the gazebo and also at the Courthouse Cultural Center. There'll be a presentation inside the Courthouse Cultural Center, and the Black Heritage Initiative by Mr. Lloyd Jones is working on that project, and it's something, again, for the public to participate in. I think that's it. That's all my notes. Thank you.
Vice Mayor?
I have a couple things. I did do that trash cleanup too, Eula. It was, I think I got like six 5-gallon buckets, and I emailed Roz about the cigarettes. It was definitely an issue. Dave, don't fall asleep on me now. So Dave had called me about a fence at Poppleton Creek, and there might be a liability thing. So I'd like that to come back as a discussion item for a fence at Poppleton Creek. Dave's gonna know more when it comes back and provide more feedback. He said he had spoke to Milton already about it. I also wanted to mention and get a consensus from the board on maybe a long-term lease for the Stuart Boat Show so it doesn't go bye-bye like a lot of other things in Martin County. And I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it's only a one-year lease, so they can't always keep the same vendors. Maybe they could get better vendors, but I'm all for the boat show.
It brings revenue to the city.
I also wanted to mention, someone contacted me about protecting East Stuart. There's an event on May 6th, something about the historic district. I don't know if that's something where we should be contacting them to find out more information, because
Yes.
no one has contacted me. I know there's a phone number that I'm supposed to call. I don't know if any of the board members
I've
are
worked with
familiar.
Mr. Johnson, and he's been working with Ms. Gandy Savdas. They're going to be meeting so that he can get his answers. On the 7th of May in Tallahassee at 1:30 p.m., the State Historic Preservation Office will be presenting to the National Historic Register our application for the East Stuart Historic District designation. And so the folks, we've had several meetings and outreach, and if Mr. Johnson or anyone else has any concerns, we wanted to talk to him ahead of time. And then there's a webinar on the 7th where folks can sign up for that webinar and they can see and hear what's going on in Tallahassee on that day, as our application that Mr. Weaver put together and the community has participated in will be there. I don't know, yeah,
Both the city and the
state,
East Stewart.
yeah.
No, you had mentioned just East Stewart. It's both for the city also.
It's for the city.
Yes.
No, it's the designation of the East Stewart Historic
Right. And for
District.
the city
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
being
yeah.
historic.
Well, the city too, that's right. There's two historic applications, yes, thank you.
And then I also wanted to send condolences to the Jeremiah Barron family. I know he had passed away today that I saw. I know some of us might not always agreed on development or anything like that, but, you know, a life was lost, so I'll send condolences to the Barron family. And also, I spoke to Roz about this. I actually did a ride-along with sanitation. One of the reasons was because during the zoning in progress and our budget workshops, and the exiting of a city manager, there was a lot of public comment and concern about your trash not getting picked up. So Rashid had trained me this morning on sanitation pickup, and Jeff Coleman assisted. So I'm going to do 2 more days, so hopefully you'll get another employee that's trained in sanitation pickup for the residents. And that's all I have to say for tonight.
2 things from me. One is on Thursday's River Coalition meeting, I spoke with Mark Perry, and he handed me a letter to ask of all of you, and so I said I would bring it to you. They have on June 11th, they're hosting an international ocean film festival,
Yeah.
and they had asked if the city would be interested in sponsoring that event as a film sponsor, and for $1,500, the city would receive recognition on their marketing, logo and signage, but 5 tickets to that event. So I told him I would offer that up to all of you and see what you thought, if you would be interested in sponsoring that. What say you?
I think it's a great idea. I would hope that maybe they would include our environmental attorney in something in that, if Ruth is available.
We'll see if we can coax a 6th ticket.
You can have mine, Ruth.
I'm not going to be here, so.
There you go.
I'm not
We
gonna
don't
be
need
here.
another one.
I'll be out of town.
What do you
So
all
we
think?
need to, I mean, as long as we have the money to do it, is that something city manager will find the money?
It sounds like we can find $1,500.
Yeah. We
Well,
didn't spend
yes,
30 million on Brightline, so
It's
Mike
good
knows
for
how to have
us.
it.
It's good. It's definitely, I make a motion that we, you want to make the you
No, I
can't, you
can't.
can't.
No, he can't make a
I'll
motion.
make
I
a
just said I would
motion,
offer it up.
yes, that we offer to the, is it to the Rivers Coalition or to
No,
Mark
it's-
Perry's
It's
organization?
the Florida Oceanographic.
Florida
Oceanographics.
Oceanographic Society for sponsorship of $1,500 for the program that they're planning.
I'll second the motion.
Is there any public comment on the motion? Seeing none, comments from commissioners?
I don't need a ticket. I'm not going to attend.
What
I
date
think
is
the
it?
price is for the table, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can just, in those occasions, maybe someone, a city clerk
go.
or something might like to
City
go.
staff can go.
Yeah.
I'll double check with him, but I believe so.
Mm.
Would you call the roll?
Vice Mayor Reed,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Commissioner Rich,
Yes.
Commissioner Giovi,
Yes.
Mayor Collins.
Yes. And then, Mike, I'll pass this down to you. That's that letter, so. Yes, sir. Yep.
Mayor Collins, are you finished with your comments?
Almost. One more.
Okay, well, I have one little thing I want to say.
Sure, go ahead.
I would just want to say, since we're talking about the environment, we've got a message from our environmental attorney, Ruth Holmes, about the work that Congressman Mass did to make sure that letter got taken care of, sent up the line, and we just want to commend Ruth on her persistence and following through, and of course on the congressman and him getting that done.
I would echo that. You are a very valuable member of this team. I'm glad you're on our side.
We appreciate you so much, Ruth. You have no
Keep up the
idea.
good work, Ruth.
Thank you.
Last thing for me is, and I'll lean on Lee a little bit, with regard to Martin County Forever. There's been brewing, and I just wanted to bring it up publicly with everybody. I was talking to John Mayle as well about this, but the Avonlea parcels that we're aware of, because that's been coming in front of us lately, there exists an opportunity in some of those parcels. Those are some of the most environmentally sensitive parcels that we have in the city, because that water flows into that Haney Creek Preserve. And that's been an adamant stance from the Environmental Land Oversight Committee lately, is that we need to make sure that that's what we're putting our focus into. So I wanted to offer up that there's the opportunity. I'm not sure if we've already submitted that property into their application process, but to partner with ELOC and Martin County Forever to potentially acquire that some, depending on the price tag, obviously, but some of those parcels.
I've been Avalon.
We
What restriction would there be on those parcels?
we have a resolution on the agenda tonight
Oh,
that
okay.
addresses that. It'll be resolution number 35-2026, so.
So wait till we get,
Oh,
the
it's the
addendum,
addendum.
yeah.
Thank you.
No,
That
this
was-
is
I read it, but I
additional.
didn't
This- What I'm
No,
talking, it's
this-
also in there?
Yeah, this will include collaborating with the county in acquiring the land.
You're good,
It was,
Lee.
it was an addendum. It wasn't in the original agenda. We did an addendum a day later that added that item. so,
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
So I just wanted to bring it up for public consumption for all of us to be considering, that we very well may have a partner in Martin County Forever and ELOC. Again, with how adamant they were that it's environmentally sensitive land, I'm looking forward to their partnership. I anticipate it.
Yeah.
So those were my comments. Comments from our new city manager.
Thank you, Mayor,
Yes, sir.
and to the rest of the commissioners. It is my honor to be here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. I've been coming, my wife and I have been coming to this area for 20 years. And on a professional perspective, there have been two goals in my professional life. One was to be a naval aviator, and the second was to be a city manager in Florida. I have been so blessed to be able to accomplish both of my goals, and I know that that's not true in everybody's work life, but I promise you that I have worked hard in getting to achieving both of those goals, and I will work hard for you. With regard to our alignment is 100%. I am aligned 100% with the policies with this board and with also the employees who are dedicated employees. The process for this, Roz, I want to thank you personally, both personally and professionally, because the process to choose a city manager for this city was bar none one of the best, if not the best, and most rigorous processes. And I'm grateful for that, because now that I am sitting here, I know how professional the staff is, and I'm grateful for that. So Mayor, Commissioners, Lee, Mary, thank you so much for all of this, and I am looking forward to leading our team to accomplish the goals, the missions of the citizens of Stuart and the commissioners who work so hard on their behalf. So I'm grateful, and thank you very much. Ready to get to work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So do we have an approval of the agenda? I was going to recommend that we add the addendum in as item 10, so at the end, if that suits the
So-
board.
So move, add in, let me see, is there a better place to have the agenda? We only have two other, that's fine. After the ordinance second reading? Yes, it's a discussion. Well, no, it's an authorization. So that would be item number 10. Okay, move that we approve the agenda as published, add in the item that was published as an addendum item as item number 10 for regular discussion, and
I'll second the motion.
Is there any public comment on the motion? Comment from commissioners? Mary, would you call the roll? Or no, that's
You can do
It's a
all
roll,
in
it's a,
roll call or all in
All in
favor?
favor.
All in favor, guys?
aye.
Okay. Comments from the public on non-agenda related items, limited to 3 minutes. Do we have comments from the
We
public?
do. I have David Kelman.
Thank you, Commissioner Reed. David Kelman, 950 South County Highway. Thank you, Commissioner Reed, for bringing up the fence. This has been an ongoing issue. Be honest with you, I'm tired to. I'm just disgusted with constantly reaching out to people in the city of Stuart. This is a liability for you guys. I mean, if you all want to get sued, Let people fall, break their necks, break their hips, cut themselves, whatever the case may be. These miscreants, that's what I call them. They're going to the bathroom. They made a path. They tie their boats up to the mangroves. You don't see it because you're not there. I run the property. I've owned it for 23 years. I own my unit, okay? These people are disgusting. I had Milton, which is, I don't know if he's still here. There he is.
Yeah.
Milton's a great guy. I call him, he comes. Ruth, wonderful. Commissioner Rich, call him, he comes. Everything is a roadblock. You know, Milton has a job to do, but he has to answer to, what was his name, Motel. And now he's going to answer to this gentleman. Good luck, by the way. He had to answer to the sitting city manager. At the end of the day, what are we going to do about the situation? It's a 15-foot fence. If I was able to do it, believe me, 15-foot fence is nothing. I take it out of my pocket, I pay for it. I can't do that because it's an easement that the city of Stuart has, deals with. These people have made a path. I got to walk down there, I got to clean up beer cans, beer bottles. I can't ask the chief of police to use his resources. What do you have, 7 cops and then supervisor or a canine unit? Hey, we're going to take the resources of the police department to patrol that particular area because these miscreants want to do what they do there? Milton was there the other day. He's seen it. The path, the dog waste all over the place. It's all property. Okay? Been there since 1974. And I've cleaned it up. Got rid of the drug dealers with the Stuart Police Department. Got rid of miscreants that live there. I'm trying to make it something special for the city of Stuart and for us. When you have these people doing what they do, it's just, I've had enough. Okay? It's just, I'm over it. One of the officers has suggested, can you put another camera over here? I got 44 cameras on my property. I'm going to spend another $5,000 of my residents' money to put another camera in for what? To pick up these people that dock their boats in whatever, what did you call it? I don't even know what that cove is where they all park their illegal boats to the people, homeless people. I don't even know what it's called. So I'm asking, I'm over, but I'm asking the commission and the city manager to please allow Milton to do his job, and let's get a fence and a gate up there, because you're going to get a lawsuit. That's all I got for you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you, Commissioner Reed, for contacting.
You're welcome.
Milton, you're welcome.
Next, I have Janine Alexander.
Get the clerk to assist me.
God help me.
Oh, good. 100%.
Take the documents.
Children here.
Are you ready to begin?
When she disseminates.
There's only enough documents here for 3 of the commissioners, so we'll have to make copies and provide them. If you'd like to go ahead and move forward with your comments.
Do you want me to wait until she's made the copies?
We don't make
Or
up.
you
I mean,
get started.
let someone go.
We'll provide them the copies after your comments.
Congratulations to the new city manager, Michael Giardino. I would like to see Stuart Police take domestic violence policy 28 and evidence collection policy 27 a little more seriously. On March 23rd, I accounted for a domestic event whereby Dennis Gallus, former domestic partner, videotaped 7 minutes in violation of dual consent made in his sworn police statement on March 1st of 2015. Yes, it has been 11 years. In 2018, Gallus accounted for the editing of said video to 55 seconds as supervised by former officer Nguyen Vo of Stuart Police. In 2018, when reported to Michael Martell, city attorney, I was gaslighted, mind gamed, told I was delusional when I filed a citizen's complaint and that the events never happened in over 200 emails. Really? An internal investigation was launched. I was denied an SIRB hearing by Martell and Roz Johnson was relegated the responsibility of making and signing a report on April 19th of 2018 as final investigative report. Stuart Police presented the 55-second clip, edited from a 7-minute video, to the state attorney as the only evidence in the matter of battery of an elder. 55 seconds, really. A charge for which I must seek clemency. Michael Martell persisted in denying any wrongdoing by law enforcement, and as a result, David Diaz was promoted to city manager in May of 2018 and served until 2023. Michael Martell succeeded him in taking position as city manager. I requested the production of public records in support of my clemency in 2023 and 2024, and Martell failed to produce those records. On May 25th, brought a thumb drive to a court hearing. Really? Mary Kendall later provided certified copies which did not contain medical records or pictures sent with my citizen's complaint in February of 2018. No fault of her own. Missing public records. Really? December 2017, Stuart Police Officer Sudoff and Ortato were called upon, fielded my complaint for tampering with evidence prior to the filing of an INOI and citizen's complaint in February 2018. Tampering. Really? In 2018, Dennis Gallis committed perjury by omission and contradiction when he lied in the INOI investigation about the 7 minutes and was not charged in exchange for his cooperation with Stuart Police. Really? A cover-up. I assert that a cover-up was orchestrated and micromanaged by Michael Martell from 2018 to 2025. I come before the new city manager tonight in request of a complete investigation as to why Michael Martell and David Diaz were left unmonitored, undersupervised, and to be able to condone the violation of due process,
Thank you, Ms.
city
Alexander.
police policies, and potentially obstructing justice.
Thank you.
When she brings you these copies, you'll be able to finish reading what I really would have preferred to have said
Thank you.
tonight. You're most welcome. Thank you for your time. Next, I have Ryan Carter.
Thank you.
Ryan Carter.
Hello, all. Thank you, city commissioners, for the job that you guys do.
Can't hear.
Welcome aboard, Mr. Michael. I can't say your last name yet, so I'm not going to even pretend to. And Ms. Roz, it was a pleasure meeting you wherever you are. Yes, definitely a pleasure. So Hand to Hand is a nonprofit organization here in Stuart, Florida. Our mission is to empower our youth here through our recreational, educational, and mentorship programs. Right now, we are running 4 programs. The mentorship program, which is Pass the Batons. We also are doing 2 basketball programs. One is called Ballamentals, where we're focusing on the fundamentals of basketball, which it is definitely missing nowadays, and a Huddle Up Academy, where it's more so centered around a team effort. And we hope to be able to bring about the book program back, titled The Buccaneers, which is focuses on the history, especially our local history here in Stuart. So the intent of us being here today, or me, is just to kind of highlight some of the things that we are doing here in the community and to make sure that our mission is aligned with, of course, the city's priority. And okay, so I'm gonna pass the baton down to some of the participants and let them speak on Hand to Hand. Thank y'all.
Within the 3 minutes. Thank you.
I have a Titan, it looks like.
Hand to Hand Commitment Outreach Initiative is a wonderful organization that helps many different kids no matter who you are or where you come from. Hand to Hand provides us with many different learning opportunities, different activities, and lots of field trips. Some of the wonderful field trips we have been on include an NBA game featuring the Miami Heat versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Florida Classics featuring the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats versus the Florida A&M Rattlers, and we also been on a boating trip, which is very fun. Very fun. Overall, I love Hand to Hand, and I would always like to be a part of it. Thank you, Titan Carter.
Thank you.
Skylar?
Hand to Hand.
Bring the mic down. There you go.
Hand to Hand is an amazing organization that helps many different kids in any different ways. In this organization, we do a variety of different things. Hand to Hand provide us with many different learning opportunities, many different activities and trips. Some trips that we had include high school basketball and football games, a polo match, and Selfish Splash. I love Hand to Hand, and I will be a part of it. Thank you, Styler Robinson.
Thank you.
Can I have Elaine?
Who with you?
Hand to Hand means standing beside someone when they feel alone and lifting them up when they need it most. It's about showing up, not because you have to, but because you care. It's more than just a program. It's a community that feels like a family, a place where real friendships grow and moments turn into lasting memories. To me, Hand to Hand isn't just an organization. It's a place where I feel seen, supported, and at home. A true home away from home. Thank you.
Next, I have Sage.
Hi, my name is Sage, and today I will be speaking about what Hand to Hand means to me. Hand to Hand is an amazing youth nonprofit program that brings learning and fun together. I really enjoy being a part of it because we get to try new things and go on exciting trips. For example, Mr. Ryan recently took us to learn about golf, where we practiced putting and had a great time. He always finds ways to bring the community together and give us opportunities we might not have otherwise. I'm very grateful to Mr. Ryan for creating this program and for all the fun and meaningful experience we share. Thank you, Sagewood.
Thank you.
Shannon?
Hi, my name is Shampri. I'm saying what Hands to Hand means to me. Hands to Hands means to me that everybody has a chance to be involved, to show no matter who you are, you can make a difference by doing your part. Like saying, putting things together, I think it means people working as a team to solve problems and support each other. When everyone shares ideas and helps out, we can accomplish more than we could do alone. It also includes doing fundraising and activities to get the support we need for our goals. This teaches responsibility and teamwork because everybody has a role. Even if we are not always together, we are still part of the same organization. We stay connected, care about each other, and support one another like a family. In the end, Hands to Hands is all about teamwork, helping others, and staying united. Thank you, Shampri Witt.
Robin Cartwright?
Evening, Commissioners. I'm not as cute as these kids, so here we go. You guys are amazing, by the way. First of all, congratulations to the new city manager. It was a very thoughtful hiring process, and I say for many of us, we are very grateful that you are here. I also want to acknowledge the gentleman who did bulk pickup at our property. We had a kitchen that was removed, and it was a lot of particle board that had gotten rained on, and to his credit, he got 99.9% of it. I just want to let you guys know what a great job that he did, because I feel like sanitation doesn't always get the acknowledgement that they deserve. But tonight I want to talk about how I can apply for a refund for some permitting fees and inspections that I've had done, because I paid for an inspection that I missed due to a family issue, because those are the rules. So let's talk about one example of somebody who is not following the rules. And I will document this situation and email it to the commissioners and to staff, but here are the highlights. I sent in a public records request about a solar panel that's being used to heat a pool, and the homeowner filed an after-the-fact permit as he did work by himself without a permit and got caught yet again. The specs for the roof fasteners and plumbing are all hand-drawn by the owner instead of stamped by plans by an engineer, and he applied for the permit as an owner-builder, even though it's a documented Airbnb commercial property, and I understand that that's not allowed. Also on the permit application, the owner listed the construction value of the work as $1,200, but on the permit itself, the valuation was listed at $500. So was he given a discount on the permit fees as a result, or did he pay the increased amount for the after-the-fact permit? So specific to the permitting and inspection process, there is a documented inconsistency and favoritism towards some with the permitting and inspection process. Some would say it's based on who you know, or rather whom you might have known at the city. I'm requesting an investigation into this permitting and inspection situation to determine what needs to be done to remedy the situation and what needs to be done to fix the approach to the process. Let's fix the process and make it equitable for everybody. And this is further proof why we need to have access to this information online without having to request it in one or multiple requests from the city clerk to get the totality of the records. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gail Goldie.
Good evening. Gail Goldie, 1153 Northwest 12th Terrace. I'm not a city resident, but I am a county resident, and I do attend as many meetings as I can because I'm just as involved and interested in what goes on in this city as I am in the entire county. But I'd just like to say that, number one, I want to thank Roz for the wonderful job she did standing in and sitting in that seat, because I know it wasn't an easy task for her to take over. But I will say that she added some grace, and she worked very hard, and it was a breath of fresh air to sit out in the audience and see her conduct such a professional association with everyone up there. And the other thing that I'd like to say is that I'd like to welcome Michael Giordano to the commission, and we are very blessed to have you here. And I hope that God shines all his love and light on you, and your job is much easier than you think it's going to be. Continue to do well. And I also just want to add one other comment, and that is to both Michael and to Roz, remember, never forget the importance of the job that you do, because you do it so well. And sometimes it's just that it's like you're not getting enough credit, or you're feeling a lot of negativity or whatever, but we really do appreciate you. And I'm really looking forward to the next year that you're working here and all the years to come. So thank you. And Roz, good luck to you back at your job. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have no further public comment, Mayor.
Okay. Moving on to approval of the consent calendar. Is there a motion?
Mr. Mayor, the consent calendars, items 3 through 6 or 7? Through 7. Move approval of the consent calendar as provided. Do we have to vote for each item?
No, you're approving the
Okay.
consent
So
calendar.
we're just.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, just checking. Since there's some special monies.
You got me.
It's been
No, it's
seconded.
okay.
Point of the consent calendar.
Right.
All of the items.
Do we have a second?
3 to 7, second.
Yes,
Okay.
there you go.
Is there any public comment on the motion? Comment from commissioners? Seeing none, Mary, would you call the roll?
Okay, she is going to call the roll.
Commissioner Giobi?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Reed?
Yes.
Commissioner
I just
Collins?
want to be
Yes.
sure that
Commissioner
she
Rich?
calls the roll.
Yes.
It's not my yay, nay. That's what I want to make sure. I'm not crazy.
You got me. It was good.
No, I just want to make sure we did the roll call.
You got me to giggle.
Yes.
Okay, so moving on to item 8, commission action, award of the ITB 2026-103 downtown courtesy dock replacement project.
Yeah, I'll read the resolution. Resolution number 28-2026, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Stuart, Florida, approving the award of invitation to bid number 2026-102, City of Stuart North Stuart Lift Station Rehabilitation Project to CK Contractors and Development LLC, the lowest, most responsive and responsible bidder, with a total unit price of $685,919, providing for an effective date and for other purposes. I don't know that we have, Holly Bath is not here, but I don't know that we
You're
have,
on 5, we're on 8.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Like, man, that's a cheap dock.
I know, I was.
Yes, I was going to say.
2 million.
Approve,
We got a new
approve,
price on the dock.
right, approve that baby right
I'm
away.
sorry. I didn't set aside the
Monday.
approval.
Yeah.
Let me repeat this then. Resolution number 29-2026.
There you go.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Stuart, Florida, approving the award of invitation to bid 2026-103, City of Stuart Downtown Courtesy Dock Replacement Project to Custom Built Marine Construction, Inc., the lowest, most responsive and responsible bidder, with a total unit price of $2,674,713, providing for an effective date and for other purposes. Yeah, Holly Bath is here to be doing the presentation, but I guess it would be Milton. Milton, if you have anything to say on this, or, I don't,
Everybody's been put on carpet
Do you guys
tonight.
have questions? for-
yeah, I don't know that we had a presentation ready for you on this one. Typically, these are on consent calendars, so.
Public Works Director. The contract is here, ready to get started, so custom build is there in the, out back out there, so they're ready to get started, and I don't know if you have any questions for me or not.
Vice Mayor?
No, I think it's great. We're getting more dock space.
Yes.
From a functional perspective, I will say I always appreciate a floating dock over a fixed dock. The cost, though, when we get hurricanes and storms,
Correct.
I understand that's why we're doing it, and it's just something that we deal with when we go to fixed docks.
Yes.
Can you speak to that O&M on
As far as what now, sir?
what we've been having to pay for the hurricane repairs or some sense of at least the scope of work?
Like justify it,
for
I guess?
why?
Well, with the floating dock, every year we go through the storms and stuff, and it's floating and everything. That's why we get all the wave action and everything, and it's damaging the finger piers. With the fixed dock, we have never had any damage on the section that goes out right now, so we decided to go with a fixed dock and then have ladders to get up to that's why it's all fixed portion.
Which will ultimately save the taxpayer.
Yes.
A lot of money is what I
Yes.
was.
Over time.
And plus we have
Investment, but
30 slips also.
Every hurricane or even
After
heavy
the
storm.
first storm,
Yeah.
there'd be money
Yeah.
saved.
Even a nor'easter, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Excellent
we're going
project.
we're going from how many slips to how many slips?
17 slips to 30 slips.
So there'll be more capacity for
More
loading.
capacity, yes.
And then, were there other questions? Sorry, I didn't mean to hog you.
No, you're good. That was my only comment.
Okay.
Regarding it. Do we know what the fixed height is?
Yeah, how far above mean high water?
Oh, I have to get back with you on that.
No worries.
Okay. I didn't bring that.
Sorry.
Putting you on the spot.
Didn't bring. I get it back. I get your answer though.
No worries.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve this item?
Oh, we didn't do that. Did you want to do that, Ms.?
I'll move that we approve Resolution 29-2026.
Second.
We're awarding the new
Is
courtesy.
there any comment from the public regarding this motion? Seeing none, comments from commissioners?
No, just it's a tough choice, as, you know, at the sailing center, boy, we had this argument back and forth. The problem with this part of the river, if the breeze is right, it's got a long way, and boy, that fetch builds. Like you say, Milton, the action on those floaters can get so destructive, so.
Fix is the way to go.
Yeah, I think fix is the way to go.
Thank you, Milton.
Mary, would you call the roll?
Vice Mayor Reed?
Yes.
Mayor Collins?
Yes.
Commissioner Giobi?
Yes.
Commissioner Rich?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Milton.
Moving on to item 9.
Ordinance number 2551-2026, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Stuart, Florida, approving a major amendment to the Walmart Commercial Plan Unit Development, providing for an amendment to the adopted resolution number 28-2011 to authorize modifications to the approved unified signage plan, install a new canopy, and paint the exterior of the building, providing for conditions of approval, providing for conflict, providing for severability, providing for an effective date, and for other purposes. And I just want to point out that this is the second reading.
Commission. For the record, my name is Michelle Arbazow, Planner 2 in the Development Department. I should be presenting agenda item number 9. However, the applicant did not meet the requirements of public notice. Signage were taken down before this meeting. Staff requests a rescheduling of the meeting so that public notice requirements can comply with the code. As you can see on the screen, during a site visit on Friday, April 17th, staff observed that the public notice signs had been removed. Staff contacted the applicant to inform them of the issue. At this time, staff is requesting approval to reschedule the hearing to the May 26th, 2026 commission meeting.
Okay. Is, Mr. Mayor?
Guess they weren't a fan of the pastel blue, huh?
Yeah. Is that a reasonable time frame? We're just going to put them on the 26th, which is the next meeting?
Correct, to meet the public notice requirements, because they would have to resend notice for the new date. And as far as the posting of those signage again.
It's another month, yeah, it's another month from now.
Okay, do we have a motion along those lines?
I'll make a motion that we'll allow the meeting to be rescheduled to the, what was the date in May? I'm sorry.
May 26th. It will be, the 25th is Monday, Memorial Day, but we're off,
Okay.
so the 26th is the Tuesday.
Will the other issues be addressed also?
It is ongoing that they are submitting.
I'll second it.
Okay. Is there any public comment on that motion? Seeing none. Comment from commissioners?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Was there an issue with Walmart being informed of the comments that were made at the commission meeting?
What do you mean?
Are you aware of that, Mr. Baggett, or?
What comments and what, I'm not following you.
Well, I thought there was some confusion as to the position of that young woman who made the presentation for Walmart. Were all the recommendations from this commission relayed back to Walmart? Are you aware?
She wrote notes down.
I can't answer that. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, the meeting would have been published online and anybody could view it, but I don't know, and I don't know if Michelle knows. I had no communications with the representative or anybody from Walmart on this issue.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'm sure they'll get into compliance.
Yeah. Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome, thank you.
Would you call the roll?
Commissioner Rich?
Yes?
Vice Mayor Reed?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Giobi?
Yes.
Mayor Collins?
Yes. And moving on to item 10, our addendum.
Resolution number 35-2026, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Stuart, Florida, authorizing the city manager or designee to pursue the creation of a trailhead along with associated infrastructure in Haney Creek off of Baker Road, and to move forward with acquiring land in the Avonlea area utilizing proceeds from the half-cent infrastructure sales surtax approved by voters of Martin County in the 2024 general election, authorizing city staff to collaborate with Martin County in the joint acquisition of undeveloped parcels in the Avonlea area, including taking action to nominate undeveloped parcels in the Avonlea area to Martin County's Environmental Lands Oversight Committee for consideration, providing for an effective date and for other purposes. And so this resolution obviously has multiple components to it. I put this one together, so I'll give you the presentation. So as you recall, the general election back in 2024 passed, and it was regards to the half-cent sales tax, and it's going to be for a period of 10 years. And the purpose of it is acquiring environmentally sensitive land for preservation, conservation, and restoration. In resolution number 21-2024, the City Commission adopted a resolution supporting the initiative to place the proposed sales surtax referendum on the 2024 general election. And the referendum passed with more than 63% of the vote. On June 23rd, 2025, almost a year ago, the City Commission adopted a Resolution 57-2025, which authorized the city manager to identify and pursue projects with a priority of acquiring land and converting the 2-acre parcel on U.S. Highway 1 in Haney Creek into a trailhead, utilizing proceeds generated from the half-cent sales surtax. So we already passed a resolution last summer that we would do a trailhead, or you instructed the manager with the proceeds from the half-cent sales tax to put a trailhead in the 2-acre commercial property on US 1. But since then, we've had multiple discussions regarding this issue, and you have instructed us to go back out to referendum to put that 2-acre parcel back in conservation. And then there's also been discussion with regards to you guys wanting to move the trailhead not on US 1, but off of Baker Road. So that's what we're addressing. You've already authorized us to do a trailhead, or to start working on a trailhead, but it was on US 1, and now you guys had, I think it was in a D&D, you guys had discussed changing that to Baker Road. So I thought it was appropriate that we do it via resolution, since the first one was resolution, wanting it on US 1. Number two, on March 9th, 2029, during discussion and deliberation, you had the discussion of that trailhead being moved, and also the Avonlea PUD. Remember, we had something up with Nick Schroth a couple of meetings ago. He has an undeveloped parcel. We showed some videos of water issues, and you also saw pictures of a lot of undeveloped land, other parcels. So since then, I kind of investigated, and there is a master PUD site plan, and I attached that to the agenda item. I apologize, I don't have it for on the screen, but if you look at the master site plan, and on this agenda item, I highlighted everything in yellow that is still undeveloped. So we have parcels 1, 10, 11, 13, 14, and 15 in the Avonlea master PUD, which remain undeveloped. Some of these are in natural state, full of woods. And you can see on there that there are designated wetlands already. So a lot of this development would occur adjacent to wetlands, which could impact, you know, the natural flow of the water from the savannas going on down to the St. Lucie River. These are also, I put a Google map kind of version. You can see I had, these parcels are fairly close to the St. Lucie River, and they're also very close to the Haney Creek, which is already in conservation. And some of them are across the street from Haney Creek, which is already in conservation. So if you look at the sky view of Google Maps that I put on there, I put a bunch of red marks spot where those parcels are. And so they would definitely, in staff's opinion, fit the bill for what the voters had voted for. And there's multiple parcels there. I have contacted all of the owners, and all of them are somewhat interested in discussing with us about the city purchasing the land from them and putting it in conservation.
That's
Number
what
two.
Nick had said when he was here.
Right. And I've had conversations with him since then, and I contacted the owners of the other parcels. Some owners own multiple parcels. So one more thing to address is the county. You had mentioned in your public comments, Mayor, that Mr. Mail at the county had reached out to you. I've also spoken to Mr. Mail as well, and they are interested, or he would say they would likely be interested in collaborating with the city and acquiring some of the land. As you recall, the Haney Creek Preservation area, 10, 20 years ago, we were in collaboration to buy all that land with Martin County. So we both own that land together currently. So this would be a continuation of that efforts of putting some land into conservation. In order to do that, we have to, at the very last page I have attached to the agenda item is an environmental land acquisition parcel nomination form. if you go to martincountyforever.com and you go to their website, this one-page form is on there. I had asked, like, for example, I'd asked Mr. Schroth if he would go online and do that and nominate his parcel. He said, I have no problem with the city doing it, but he did not want to nominate his own parcel. So he said, you have our authority to do it, but I still need to get permission from you guys to nominate his parcels and some of the other owners' parcels to Martin County Forever, so that their board, it's the ELOC is an acronym for it, but it's the Environmental Lands Oversight Committee. It's a 9-member citizen advisory board that they assess recommended parcels, and there's multiple parcels that have been, recommended to them, and they meet periodically and they vote on it. So Mr. Mayo said in order for the Martin County to consider it, we would have to do that nomination form and submit it, and then at their next meeting, those parcels will come up. He said he couldn't do anything until we did that.
Which I think he said would be in June.
I didn't get that date, but as soon as I get approval from you guys, I've already got approval from one owner, and I can contact the other owners and likewise act accordingly.
Thank you for your work
Sure.
on this. You've been busy, and I really appreciate everything that you've done here. So I'm hopeful we will pass this.
Right. Again, it's multiple components.
Yes.
We're talking about the trailhead moving to Baker Road, and we're talking about collaborating with the county, and also even without the county. Maybe the county doesn't want. We're going to have enough money, we could purchase at least some of these parcels and put them in
Don't
conservation.
give them any ideas.
So, but what we would do is, the city manager and myself, we would work on negotiations, and it would be an option contract. We couldn't bind the city to a contract. It would be an option that we'd still have to bring back that contract to the board, and the board would have to vote on it at that point in time. It's probably not all going to be at once. It'll probably come in pieces, but, we're getting this money every year for 10 years.
In talking to him, he also mentioned a lot of different opportunities for grants, like Parcel 10 when we were talking about it last time. Parcel 10 was never, the stormwater was never, that infrastructure wasn't built because it was assumed that when it got developed, that would be dealt with. So one of those considerations would be, how to properly update that drainage so it properly flows across, the invasives. But in talking to John Mayle, and he said I could share this, he felt confident that between a couple different organizations, one with stormwater drainage and then like South Florida Water Management for invasives, there would be a lot of opportunity to collaborate with the county for even, moving forward what we would do with that property. So I was very excited to hear he already had his wheels turning, and this is, I think, a great opportunity for us. Commissioner Giobbi, or Vice Mayor, you were first.
Yeah, he was first.
I think mine was from Old.
Okay,
Light,
Old
sorry.
Light.
Yeah.
My question's for Lee. Does the resolution need to include the fact that we are agreeing to complete the environmental land acquisition parcel form?
Well, it's already in there.
Oh, it is,
So it's in
okay.
the title, and it's also, that's why I wanted to make sure you guys are voting on 3 components.
Okay.
I could have separated it out, but they all seem to roll together. It's on expenditures and actions on the half-cent sales tax, so.
Is there a motion for approval?
I make a motion to accept Resolution 35, 2026, resolution of the City Commission of the City of Stuart, Florida, authorizing the city manager to pursue the creation of a trailhead along with the associated infrastructure in Haney Creek off of Baker Road, and to move forward with acquiring land in the Avalia area, utilizing proceeds from the half-cents infrastructure sales tax.
Second.
Is there comment from the public? So, Joe, behind you,
Joe Gilio and
first is Gail. Ladies first.
Sorry, Joe.
Dr. Joe.
Gail Goldie. I just want to say that I do live up near this area, and I think it's a wonderful idea to have the trailhead there. I'm glad that it would be on Baker Road. But I did sit at a commission meeting many, many months ago, and I know that there is a property on US 1 in Baker. You cannot get into that business off of US 1. You have to make the right or the left into Baker. to get down Baker Road there, and then it's down to the school. I believe he was in here to ask for getting some kind of a variance or something to have his parking to exit his building from the backside, and then it would come out and almost go down as far as the entrance where Publix has their entrance on Baker. So, and I know that road because I travel it, and the school is there, and oftentimes the traffic is backed up because of the school. I'm just bringing this up because I know that it was discussed at a previous meeting, and I don't know where you are in the process of looking at his request for making an exit road out of his business before you go ahead and do something to make sure that there's ample room for the trailhead entrance for his business, if that gets approved, to have exit from his business and the school. And then you have the tennis association there. So, and it is one lane in each direction. So.
The parcel that you're talking about, Ms. Goldie, is in the county, so any building development permit has to go to the county. It's just adjacent to city land where we would want to put a trailhead, so.
I just don't want it to be after the fact that we find out that, they just happened. So now we have the county, so I'll have to bring it up at the county meeting so that we get our trailhead entrance there.
Thank you, Gail.
Thank you, Gail. Hi, Joe.
Joe Giulio from Martin County. I'm not a Stuart resident, but I'm very much involved with that parcel. In 1982, when I was Wetlands Management, Inc., I told the developer that that 2-acre parcel on US 1 couldn't be developed. It's mostly wetland. So to put a parking area there off US 1, I think would be rather difficult.
We're not doing that.
Good.
Yeah.
The other thing is that I also, the last thing I did before I sold Wetlands Management, I was the environmental professional who did all of the wetland delineation and the preservation. So, and we also cleaned up a lot of the exotics that were in the wetland. It's a beautiful piece. And I never really wanted to see it get developed. And if you people could buy it, great. It would make a great preserve as well as a use for the public. So go ahead.
Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Appreciate it. Any other public comments?
I have none.
Comments from commissioners?
I had one.
Good first opportunity.
Lee, your light was on.
I already covered it.
Okay. Vice Mayor?
Yes. So Gail, as far as that, what it was, the parcel in question on Baker and US 1 is in the county. It was pitched by prior city manager to potentially talk with the developer that wanted to annex it into the city and potentially get them to pay for a trailhead parking, because their ingress, egress, and access to that parcel for their development of a gas station wasn't necessarily easy. So that's where that came from.
And if I remember correctly, we really didn't want them coming into the trailhead, exiting with the gas station.
Commissioner Giobbe?
Oh, sorry, I didn't.
Rich?
We all had our lights on by mistake, sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean, that issue is a matter of safety. It's a point well made, because they can be egressing too soon after the turn, so it should be considered. I would hope in creating that trailhead, we consider the offer from that business to pay for the construction and maintenance of it. If we can save the taxpayers money, we certainly should consider it. So we want to create two new trailheads?
No.
In addition, you want to put the one on?
No.
It says, I think it still says, doesn't it?
I thought he was referencing the previous one.
To identify land north of the Roosevelt Bridge for acquisition, converting the 2-acre parcel on US Highway 1 and Hannell Creek, spelling error please, into a trailhead. So we're going to put 2 new trailheads in about,
No,
I don't know, a kilometer apart from each other?
It's moving the trailhead off of Baker Road.
That's not what this resolution says, though.
All right, so the city, well, let me
Looking
read
at
it. So
page 2. The second from the last whereas. Am I looking at the wrong? No, I'm on the right one.
Which whereas clause on page 2?
On June 23, 2025, the City Commission adopted resolution number 57.
Correct, yeah. So in the past, the city commission had already authorized to do the trailhead on US 1. With this resolution, we are changing that. You guys had a discussion and deliberation about changing it and not being on US 1 and being off of Baker Road instead. So this resolution is changing your previous resolution authorizing it to be on US 1. And you guys had previously had a discussion and deliberation about.
Ah, you're right, I see, instead of.
Yes,
Correct.
he highlighted the.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification.
With regard to the opportunity, I'll call it, to have the entry paid for, like you mentioned, my issue with that was having gas station racetrack traffic sharing the entrance in there where families would be parking, kids would be walking, getting out of the car to go onto that trail. To me, did not seem worth the risk there of people, flying in there and trying to get to that gas station. We have these funds here to be able to do this without having to go in that direction. So personally, I didn't think.
Yeah, I don't know that that may well be, Mr. Mayor. I think it's a valuable offer for the benefit of the taxpayer. It should be considered. They've got to move that entrance. They do want to put it right where the Publix, where that Baker Road Publix, which is definitely safer. That we know is true. So I understand your concern. I don't know if there are a means.
For me, that's not something I would be interested in.
Of ameliorating the speed at which they would leave the racetrack. I think it's a mix. It's a two-edged sword there. I think there's a benefit.
Those two be totally separate. I don't want any entrance into our park for the gas station, personally. Commissioner Clark?
It's not about this item. I just wanted to say something after you finish voting on this item.
Okay. Any other comments?
I'd just like to say, I'm sorry, I think it's terrific we're finally going with the group that the county has put together. It was the vote of the citizens who created this opportunity, and it's nice that the voice of the citizens gets to be heard in these acquisitions.
Agreed.
Great opportunity.
Okay. Mary, would you call the roll?
I will. Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Rich?
Oh, yes.
Commissioner Giobi?
Yes.
Mayor Collins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Reed?
Yes.
Okay.
I made my comment.
Yes, forgive me.
Yeah, so my comment that I wanted to say was during the time for the consent agenda, what I wanted to emphasize that it was not going to be an all in favor item. It would have been a roll call vote on all of the items. That's what I wanted to. I don't know if you mistook what I.
No, forgive me for laughing. You just you got,
I just wanted to emphasize that.
you
No.
got me, and you got a chuckle out of me. It was good.
Because sometimes you
caught me off
say
guard.
all in favor, and I wanted to emphasize that. And maybe I didn't say it right,
No,
but
no,
that's what I wanted to emphasize. That's okay.
Let it go.
Okay, I had to.
Seeing no other business, this meeting is adjourned.